Safety standards in India and around the world. In India, there are several certification marks that are used to indicate that a product or service meets certain standards or specifications. Some examples include BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, mark. This mark indicates that a product conforms to the Indian standards set by the Bureau of Indian Standards. It is mandatory for certain products, such as electrical goods and certain types of toys. ISI, Indian Standards Institution, mark. This mark indicates that a product conforms to the Indian standards set by the Indian Standards Institution. It is mandatory for certain products, such as cement, LPG cylinders, and certain types of packaged foods. AgMark, this mark indicates that a product conforms to the standards set by the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, an organization under the Indian Ministry of Agriculture. It is mandatory for certain agricultural products, such as seeds, oils, and ghee. Hallmark, this mark indicates that a product is made of a certain purity of gold, silver, or other precious metals. It is mandatory for gold and silver jewelry sold in India. FSSAI, this mark indicates that a food product conforms to the standards set by the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. It is mandatory for all packaged food products sold in India. These are some common certification marks found in India. There are many other marks used in specific industries to indicate that a product or service meets certain standards. International certification. There are many different certification marks used around the world, each with their own specific meaning. Some examples include CE mark. This mark indicates that a product conforms to the safety, health, and environmental protection standards set by the European Union. It is mandatory for certain types of products that are sold in both India and the EU. UL, Underwriters Laboratories, certification mark, indicates that a product has been tested and meets safety standards set by UL. CE, Conformit European, mark, indicates that a product meets European Union safety, health, and environmental protection standards. FCC, Federal Communications Commission, mark, indicates that a product meets FCC standards for electromagnetic interference, EMI, and radio frequency, RF, exposure. Energy Star mark, indicates that a product meets energy efficiency standards set by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and the U.S. Department of Energy, DOE. NSF, National Sanitation Foundation, mark, indicates that a product meets standards for public health and safety set by the NSF. ISO, International Organization for Standardization, mark, indicates that a product meets international standards for quality and safety. GS mark, Geprüft indicates that a product meets German safety standards. WaterSense mark, indicates that a product meets standards for water efficiency set by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. These are just a few examples of the many different certification marks that are used around the world. Each mark represents that the product has been tested and meets certain standards set by the organization that issues the mark.